looking for the green flag at the back, and there we go. 10 laps then. Red flag will move away. Lights will come in top left of your picture. Let's see who gets the drop. Lights are on. Revs rise. Lights are on now. Hand up at the back, is there a problem? They're away, Todd Ellis is away, looking through the middle there, that was Lee Crawford having a look, Lewis Blackstock, and in front, Sam and Tom Christie. Look at Lee Crawford with Jake Lowther's yellow helmet switching from left to right, having a look through. A brilliant start by Sam and Tom Christie. Todd Ellis then, with Lee Crawford and Lewis Blackstock climbing all over him, so the first of the laps streaming down through Craner Curves. That, believe it or not, is flat out in top.
That was absolutely fantastic start from Sam and Tom there in the number 34 outfit. That's kind of, I believe, it's what they're going to need, Barry, is to disrupt Todd.
Yeah, once he gets in his rhythm out the front, and then he could well be away with it. They've got to ride a defensive line. That'll leave the 95. Oh! Craig Clark with it all sideways there. That was close. That was a good save. That was very nearly a complete spin on the Honda for the number 17 Honda. Craig Clark and Pete Enser, but everyone round safely. Rupert Archer at the back, but at the front, 34, Sam and Tom Christie, the Beverley-based brothers, and the third Christie brother is in that outfit in shot now. Rupert Archer, number 70.
George and Oscar, they're in 11th place, Barry, off the back of the grid. They're absolutely carving their way through the grid as we start here on this first lap.
Well, that was a brilliant start by the Chris's. They're holding it, but Lewis Blackstock now still in third, but Lee Crawford, who heart-achingly rode for 9 laps yesterday, was looking at the podium spot and the front wheel came adrift. That's the last thing you want. The front wheel worked itself loose, and he said, the steering went all funny. I'm not surprised.
I'm definitely not surprised, Barry, and luckily Lee managed to pick it up in a relatively safe place. Could have been in quite a, well, it doesn't even bear thinking about where else it could have gone wrong.
There you have George Holden, 93, Oscar Lawrence on the blue outfit. They've had overheating problems. He's now got himself past Brian Gray, the guy who was fighting so hard in that 5-way battle, a 15-wheeler we had yesterday for about 6 laps. But still at the front, it's Sam and Tom Christie. We're on lap 2 of 10, but the Ellis Clermont machine is coming. And they'll take no prisoners. They'll want to go away with a maximum. They've got a championship to defend. Well, you would, wouldn't you?
Definitely. And oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. Andy Peach, Ken Edwards there with a problem. Thankfully, both seem to be relatively okay. Andy
Peach, very much part of the organisation in the championship this year, in the British Sidecar Championships. So many years, of course, it carried the Molson title, but it's a brand new look series this year with a cup class within the scoring. So the GP class, and we've got 2 GP class outfits leading at the moment, are, if you like, the Premier class. Then the slightly heavier, they're not allowed smart wheels, magnesium wheels, and 1 or 2 other things, slightly slower, slightly heavier bikes fight for the Cup Award. And the Cup Award leader at the moment is lying in 7th place, Simon Robinson, the number 19 crew, and Ellis is by. Ellis is by. I was going to say it was only a matter of time, but you never know. The Christie boys are riding so well, and they're just getting quicker and quicker.
They really are, and that second lap there, Barry, they really set some fantastic sector times. I was watching them come up on the timing screen, but Todd just played the absolute blinder of a move there, coming out at the final corner at Goddard's, and just pulled the cut back and got the drive.
Well, he's already done, or they have already done, a 1:35.89. That's their fastest lap of this race. So they've still got a little way to go to get towards lap record. But now this is the battle for third. Lewis Blackstock, Paddy Rosley, and Lee Crawford, Jake Lowther on the Kawasaki. So Yamaha fights Kawasaki. Brand new chassis. I repeat myself, it was brand new for this season, and they haven't got any of their old settings applied. They're working it out as they go along, trying to get that bike user-friendly. You wouldn't think it's that technical, but of course it is.
Yes, definitely, Barry. Sometimes the new chassis, year to year, it's not a necessity in sidecar racing. But when you sort of get to 5, maybe 10 years, it does kind of need a change-up.
Lee Crawford then, the 117 outfit, looking left, looking right, coming down into to the Melbourne hairpin, and Blackstock knows he's got company. Lewis Blackstock, number 95, who so strongly started last year, was running at the top of the championship, then it all went pear-shaped. Oh no, another retirement for George Holden. Oscar Lawrence is livid, absolutely beside himself. That Kawasaki has played up again, and after fighting through up to 10th place, they're out of it. Lee Crawford, 117. He and Jake Lowther. Lee Crawford, very much British F2 champion, of course, was quite a revelation when he got on the long bike towards the end of last season. Now he's got the hang of it. There's no holding him, but he's chasing down Lewis Blackstock. Lewis Blackstock has he got what it takes on lap 4 to hold on to this all the way to the podium? We shall see.
I just noticed as well here, Barry, on that first lap we did indeed lose Craig Clark, Pete Enzer on the number 11, the number 17 bright orange outfit, potentially something to do with that moment we saw them have at the top of the hill.
Well, you never know what happened when the back stepped out like that, but let's have a look. And this is Ellis now in front, and this is how he did it, coming out of Goddard's. Chris's went wide, they were over the curb, through on the inside, sweet as you like. That bike is on rails, there's no doubt about it. There was never any question of sliding there. All these big fat Avon sticky tyres. And on the subject of tyres, this is the last year for Avon as a tyre supplier in the Sidecar Championship. There are new names being mooted and bandied about, but there's not a new tyre deal currently done, and that's a bit concerning.
It is, Barry. It feels like we're getting quite late in the day already, even though we're very early in the season. So hopefully we can sort something out. I believe Waltham Services are going to be involved somewhere along the line with the supplying of the Hoosier tyres.
Well, if Hoosier's the brand, then the man at Waltham Services, James Hutchings, is a former Avon employee. He used to run the racetrack until 2 seasons ago, so he knows the sidecar scene. And that company, if they can sort the brand out, and if it is Hoosier, then, as I said, we need to get some development done. But we're looking at the battle for 3rd place. Lewis Blackstock, Paddy Rosney, ahead of them, disappearing out of shot, Sam and Tom Christie. This is a battle for 3rd. Can Lee Crawford do something about these guys? Because he's dropped off the pace at the front due to DNFs. He's only had one finish. Blackstock and Crawford, and then all the way back behind Crawford we've got Biggs, the distinctive outfit, and he's fighting once again with the number 42, Craig Curry, and there Simon Robinson and Mick Fairhurst, the Cup leaders coming into this race. But at the moment, the leading Cup contender is Lee Crawford. But there Craig Curry, former 4-wheel champion and riding Honda. Honda's not usually the engine of choice. The Yamaha seems to be the engine of choice, but last season he was very much associated with Ben and Tom Birchall, and they built 2 identical long outfits, and it is Honda powered, and it does a good job.
It certainly does, Barry, and I think if you look up versatile in the dictionary, I think there's probably a picture of indeed Craig Curry there. Like you say, 4 wheels, very successful. 2 wheels, he did some Ducati tri-options a few years ago as well, I believe. Very fast, and now, as we can see, very, very handy on a 3-wheel sidecar.
And can I just throw a little stat into the pot? He won a karting endurance race with yours truly as his co-driver.
Did he really? I did not know that. I suppose you carried him though, Barry.
He did the qualifying time. I went out and did what I could, and he finished the session. But we won it. Nice though. There we have it. Lewis Blackstock and Lee Crawford. 117. Jake Lowther in the chair for this year. And these two then still scrapping for 3rd. And we are now well over half distance on lap 6 of 10. Oh, there we have Craig Clark and Pete Enser. You said they were missing from the action, and there they have it, parked up. They were running in 12th place, now occupied by Paul and Tom Kirby. So fairly strung out now down the field here. These guys have been basking in the sunlight all day, and I guess some of them might just have gone half to sleep.
Yes, I did have a little wander around the paddock earlier, Barry, and there were certainly a few shut eyes and a few dropped caps over the faces. So these guys very much refreshed for this afternoon, I think we could say.
Yeah. There's Craig. Oh, that's why Craig Clark's out of it. That was earlier on in the race. We saw him parked up, and he'd been having an issue. We saw him sideways coming out of the old hairpin. But that is Craig Clark and Pete Enser out of the running, and you can see why.
That incident there, Barry, was indeed, it was with actually Andy Peach and Ken Edwards, so maybe that's what led to their retirement too.
Well, bit of a shunt there, and now we've still got this battle. This has gone all the way through the race here. Lee Crawford, and what's that? A bit of a wave. Oh no, what's up? Paddy Rosney putting a hand in the air. What's that all about? They've got a problem too. Looks like it. Paddy Rosney, the passenger of the number 95 outfit, put his hand in the air. Lee Crawford has gone through into third position. So Lewis Blackstock and Paddy Rosney on the DHR Express Tyre Services Yamaha have definitely got an issue. All is not well with them, so what's that going to do? Is Rob Biggs going to inherit fourth place? Where is Rob Biggs? Well, at the moment, he's way down the road. That's it. It's game over for Lewis Blackstock and Paddy Rosney. They are into pit lane. And Lee Crawford then up to third. But here comes Rob Biggs. Rob Biggs and Ferry Sagers, his Dutch passenger. And then, of course, Craig Curry and Justin Sharp, the number 42 crew, will move the Honda. That will be the leading Honda. Kawasaki in third, Honda into fifth. Well, you never know. It's not over till it's over, is it?
Very much so, and well, Lee Crawford, he knows all about that after yesterday's mishap at the end of the race with his wheel nut coming a little loose there. So it's a shame for Lewis and Paddy. They've ridden well this weekend, but yeah, unfortunately, Barry, an early day and well, a long one as well, to wait all this time to go out so early.
Simon Robinson, number 19, he and Mick Fairhurst ahead of Rupert Archer and Adam Christie. The third of the two Christies, one of twins, Adam. Tom and Adam, and there Rupert Archer then, and of course looking back further down the order behind Archer's Phil and Carl Bell. In 10th place now, Brian Gray and Clement Conley. Race leaders, Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clement, and they are some 3 seconds, I would say, ahead of the Chasing Christie brothers, the boys from Beverley. There we have it. Fantastic. Clipping the sidecar wheel over the curb. Todd Ellis. Look at that, very stylish indeed. Reaching down for that handhold on the right-hand side, Emmanuel Clement and Todd Ellis. What a pairing they are. World and British champions last year, defending the two titles, as I said. Blackstock back in the running. Lewis Blackstock back out from pit lane, so desperate to salvage points. There they go. So they've basically lost a lap. And, well, you know, it's points. Points make prizes. Christie boys, well, they won't necessarily know, or will they, that Blackstock is a lap adrift. On the penultimate lap now, Sam Tom Christie, race leaders. There's Blackstock coming round a lap down the order. Currently, when he goes over, he'll be credited with something like 14th place, I think. So his lap down there, Simon Robinson, number 19, looking back, Craig Curry and Justin Sharp, Simon Robinson, Mick Fairhurst and Rupert Archer and Adam Christie. A good battle again with these guys. Bigsy is away in 4th place. This is a good battle. Craig Curry enjoying his racing. He's already said to me that on the basis of yesterday's race, he's going to commit to the rest of the season. Well, that's good news.
It's always good, Barry. We definitely need these sidecars here this year to really to fill the grid out, and it's a great spectacle. It's something so different here at BSB, and we have a lot of fans that absolutely adore the sidecars.
Yeah, I'm looking around the circuit. There's still a good number of the spectators enjoying the late afternoon sunshine, enjoying the sidecar race. Race leaders on the final lap then, lap 10 of 10. Todd Ellis, Emmanuel Clement on the LCR Brookland Yamaha. Brookland, a sand and gravel pit down in Cornwall, and two very nice guys. Got interested in the sidecar racing last season and have put their money where their mouths are, and they've got these guys heading for glory here. Victory again, 3 in a row for Todd Ellis, Emmanuel Clement, and a great second place, a good runner-up spot. The gap 4.6 seconds, Sam and Tom Christie. Blackstock and Rosny a lap adrift. It will be Lee Crawford and Jake Lowther. Here they are then for 3rd place on the final step on the podium and the leading Cup outfit. So that will help their Cup championships no end. Biggs, Curry and Robinson. Waiting for Craig Curry. Craig Curry leading Simon Robinson over the lines. A good scrap there for those final places. That's 5th, 6th, 7th. Rupert Archer in the hunt as well. That was a good close battle towards the end of the race. 0.4 of a second separating those 3 outfits. Phil Bell comes over. Phil and Carl Bell and Brian Gray and Clement Cornille, his French passenger. And it will be the Kirby boys in 10th place. But victory confirmed then. 3rd victory this weekend for Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clement on the LCR Brookland Yamaha in the sunshine here at Donington Park. Well, disappointment for Blackstock and Rosny, but they will scratch a couple of points for a finish. Credited with 14th place. But what a weekend these guys have had. There'll be a bit of a rest in proceedings now for events happening on the Isle of Man. And then, of course, I do believe before we see them again in Britain, that they are off to score points in the World Championship. Confirmation then of the Rowe British Sidecars round race 3, Ellis Clement, the Christie brothers, Crawford, Lowther, that's the podium. Biggs, but Crawford the top Cup performer, Biggs, Curry, Robinson the Cup leader, he will still be leading that championship. Archer, Phil and Carl Bell, Gray Cornille, Kirby's, Bell, Hawkswell Taylor, the Has-Beens boys. And further down the order, as I said, Blackstock and Rosny, damage limitation, 14th place, and a couple of points. Not all bad. Standings, maximum 100 points, 4 rides, 4 wins. 14 points further back, the Christie boys, they're hanging in there and fighting. Blackstock and Rosny still in 3rd place, but Curry and Sharp, with only 3 races here at Donington Park, have jumped into 4th place in the standings. Brilliant for them. Rob Biggs, he'll be happy with that. George Holden and Lawrence slipping backwards. They need to get some reliability in that Kawasaki. Archer Christie, Kershaw didn't play. Kerp and Cable was not here either. So at the top of the table, the boys who count have done a good job here at Donington.